Howdy guys, Connor with Misery Mountain Mining. We're cutting gemstones today here in the kitchen. Let's kind of check out the different bits we're going to use here. These are our diamond bits used for our general shaping and cutting. Awesome bits. This kit is linked in the description below. Now these bits, I call them the orange bits. Now these are awesome for shaping, but they smooth out what the diamond bit does and takes it to kind of a finer grit, but still great for shaping. And here we have the lightest bit of shaping possible, but it takes out a lot of your scratches and imperfections, and it starts the polishing process here. And we have the Harbor Freight store-bought kit. Now this kit is pretty useful. It costs like $20. Now you can get most of your project done here. Now, following the Harbor Freight line of thought, here's a piece that we started with. Now it looks like a really nice piece, but it's covered in massive inclusions and host rock here. And so my buddy Timothy is shaping it. Here's the Dremel that he's using. It's a real cheap Dremel. I mean, it's just on-off, that simple. I think this is a $10 Dremel, but I'll link it in the description as well. And just to kind of show you that you can get started cutting with next to nothing. I mean, you can spend 50 bucks on a set, and if you get the polishing paste that I'll show you here at the end of the video as well, I mean, you'll just kind of top everything off and you'll be cutting in no time. Now here is one of the pieces out of that too, and then this is another one that he was able to get out of that piece. Now it looked like it had a super nice orange, but it turned out it was just a yellow, and that's one of the disappointing things with fire opal, but it can surprise the heck out of you as well. Moving into the cutting process, I've already semi-shaped this and cut off the rough, which is just as simple as you go to town, you start cutting until you get to the clear stone. Make sure you're wetting it. I'm really rushing this cutting process here. Now that was a big mistake because I ended up cracking the crud out of this stone, which is no good, but it was also close to the surface off my hidden gem mine. Here we go. Good stuff. Now this is the piece cut. Now you can see it's a rough cut. If you have a lap saw, I would recommend you use it. Now this is using a diamond cone bit, just working out some of the rougher shapes and trying to get that almost perfect oval shape. But when you're working with a Dremel, there is almost no perfects unless you really take your time and work at it. Now I am 100% self-taught. I'm not a professional, and I'm not going to claim that I am a professional gem cutter. This is just a simple DIY video on how to cut your own gemstones with a Dremel. Now, here we're moving into a sandpaper. This is cutting a flat back on it. Now this is general for all cabochons. Now I use the sandpaper because it gets the most even surface. I've tried over and over with bits, and this seems to be the #1 way to flatten out the back. Now just take it back and forth until you get out all your imperfections and you've got a nice shape going there. Now here we're moving into my orange bits that I like. Now this is where I start taking out the rough spots from the diamond Dremel, and this is where I do the final shaping here. I start putting on a beveled edge, a rounded out kind of sort of edge. If I'm using the wrong word there, I apologize. Now this really does a good job at not taking off too much at one time, and that's something you gotta be careful with when working with a Dremel. Now you can see the big chip that I'm working at there, trying to get it out. But again, I'm working it too quick. You can see that I'm getting the white out in the material, and that's not good. When you're working with opal, you want to keep it as wet as possible. That way you're not cracking the stone up, because the moment you heat up one of these fire opals, you've gone too far. It's not quite like the Cooper Pedy. I've found with Cooper Pedy and Lightning Ridge, you can go a little bit harder and a little bit faster with the Dremel, but not so much with the Oregon Fire Opal. Alrighty, now we're moving into our green polishing bits. Now these are good for taking out the last of your scratch marks. And take your time because you can heat up this stone. It was in this last couple steps that at some point I overheated this stone, and I didn't realize it until I was polishing it that it was just cracked to nothing. It was still solid feeling, and I couldn't necessarily break it, but it wasn't a good look. So again, take your time when working with fire opal. Now the only reason why I rushed this process was so I could video the whole thing in a reasonable amount of time, because I can spend up to 6 to 8 hours cutting even a single piece that's even 2 to 3 carats. I mean, it really takes some time. Now here we're moving into our buffing stage. Now when it looks white like that, that's because of the diamond paste polish I'm using. I only used one diamond paste polish just to show you guys what the process looks like, but you're going to want to go from start to finish with, say, like a 1200 diamond grit, the basic grit you get in the kit, and then you move your way up, but you use different Dremel bits. These are the cotton type, wool type Dremel bits. Now these are just for buffing, but they do an awesome job. And if you buy this kit that I have that I'm about to show you here, now it's awesome. It comes with all your different bits and it comes with your pastes. Now I really appreciate you guys checking out this video. I'm going to show you guys some of the cut gemstones that I have, and we're going to call it a day. And if you liked this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I hope that you guys will follow for more. And if you did enjoy this cutting video, I can do more, but I'm not sure about it. Thank you.